Yes, sir. Would you like any help today?
Oh, I'm alright, thanks. Just looking for some jeans.
Well, we've got plenty of jeans here. Would you say you'd prefer skinny or slim? Or super stretchy skinny slimmies? Was it skinny jeans you were after or slimmy jeans?
Well,
was it slim fit or skin fit? Straight leg? Lesbian ankle? Pansexual kneecap? What? Do you want it to be really tight or incredibly tight? Do you want it to be slimming or just slim? Do you want it to grip at your thighs? Do you want super slim, stretchy? Slim Jim?
Just a
slimmy, skinny? Shimmy on over to the skinny jeans.
Yeah, not sure. Really, I'm just after any with a zipper, because I find the button flies are quite fiddly.
If you're not satisfied with button flies, we have got other options.
Oh, these, yeah, these have been sewn shut.
Yeah, so when you want to open your flies, all you've got to do is unpick them, urinate, etc., and then re-stitch them once you're finished.
Right, no, that seems even less practical than the buttons.
Or we have these, which is utilising a mini drawbridge.
No, again, that's really going to slow the process down compared to a zip.
This one is a series of padlocks.
No, that's still...
This one has a zip.
Ah, great. Well,
In fact, it has loads of zips, like the entrance of a tent. Zips and zips and zips. So you're going to love these, knowing how much you love zips.
Well, no, that's too many, isn't it?
Or these, which have a combination lock.
No, again, that's going to be way
Or
less...
these, which utilise the same mechanism as a car bonnet, so they're very easy to open if you can find the catch.
Oh, yeah, just a normal...
Or these, which have enabled multi-factor authentication, so you just need to download an authenticator app to generate a 6-digit code that will unlock the flies.
I just want a pair like these, with a zipper. I mean, look, is there genuinely anyone in here who would not prefer these jeans?
Sir, please don't draw the other customers' attention to your jeans.
Why? Because they might realise it's a superior design and start shopping somewhere that actually sells what they want, rather than what the fashion industry is forcing upon us?
No, because your fly's undone.
Oh. That is the trouble with zippers, to be fair.
After Manuel Manson was bitten by a radioactive man, he became Man-Man, an ordinary man, but with the powers of a man.
I just want to go back to my life as a man. Even if I do have the powers of a man now.
You can't hide from who you are, Man-Man. It's your destiny. But just when he thought things couldn't get any worse.
Sorry, I still don't really get what these films are about. Maybe we should call it a day.
It happened again. And his problems doubled.
No! So, what does that mean?
But so did his powers.
You're twice the man I thought you were.
Right, yeah. So, what's actually happened then? Because there was no real effect of being bitten the first time.
You've seen Man-Man. Well, get ready for something totally new. It's Man-Man, but with the powers of a man!
How is this any different?
Man-Man cubed. Man-Man to the power of man. Well, doot-de-doo, here I am, just a guy made of celery walking through my house. Perhaps I'll glance at my family photos on the wall. Yes, there's celery. I fancy a film. What's on the old streaming services, I wonder? Celery Man, Sleeper Celery, Lord of the Rings, Celery, Turn of the King. Ah yes, celery films, of course. What's in the news today? Oh, not celery related today. Well, perhaps I'll pop on my hat. Hoo-hoo, that's me wearing a hat then, I suppose. Just a man made of celery popping on a hat. Dee-dee-dee.
No, right, stop this. Stop the sketch.
What's all this?
Sorry, but this is rubbish. It's going nowhere. What's the point of this? What are you doing?
Hoo-hoo, well, I'm just a man made of celery, that's all.
Yeah, that's not really enough, though, is it? There's no depth to this. You're just walking around looking at things in your house.
Well...
No, it's my fault. I should have developed you more as a character. You know, I just wanted to film something in a doll's house. I thought it looked quite cool and that celery would be an easy thing to animate, but I haven't really fleshed out the premise of the sketch beyond that.
Oh, I see. Perhaps you'd care for some celery to take your mind off things.
See, that doesn't make sense. Why would a guy made of celery offer me celery to eat? Surely in your world that's like your children or something. No, let's just wrap it up. Is there anything you could do that would be a sort of interesting end to the sketch?
Not really, no. I do enjoy filing.
Filing?
Yes, I'm very organized. I have blue folders.
Well, no, that's not an entertaining skill, is it?
I enjoy sticking the labels on the front. It gives me a real buzz, actually.
No one wants to watch you labelling your folders. What about your job? Have you got an exciting...
I'm a data entry clerk.
Right, that doesn't sound...
It's more rewarding than you might think. It's not fun as such.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Well, perhaps I could do an amusing dance. Dancing is fun.
No, don't...
Oops, down I go.
Hey, stop.
Look at this.
Stop moving so much. I've got to animate all of this. That's going to take me like 2 hours.
Or I could make some fun noises. Blim blim, loo 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 loo, la la la, bloop bloop, lippity, schnookle, blah la la.
No, your life's too depressing for this to be a fun comedy sketch.
Oh,
We'll have to make it into a more emotional, like art sort of film.
I'm actually quite happy in my life.
No, it's very sad. Very sad. So yeah, we'll make it into a pretentious short film. You know, a bit of sad music, shots of you isolated in your lonely little house. End with a suicide, probably.
Suicide? Do we?
Yeah, there's always a suicide. Like drowning in the bath. That's a good one because it looks great in slow motion. You know, the taps dripping. And then we'll just have some sort of poignant quote fade up.
I don't...
And that's pretty much an award-winning short film, I should think. Yeah. All right. We've salvaged it. For you. All right. See you later.
But couldn't I just pop on another hat?
There's a rapping at your door and there's someone on the mat. You look through the peephole and you straighten your hat, but nobody's there, no one at all. And then you hear a tapping on your kitchen wall. He's just another gnome. He's standing in your home, that's what he does if you let him. He's in your kitchen now. He's really itching now, whip up a feast just for you. He grabs your bags full of rice that you were saving for a curry, and he looks in your eyes, you see he's not in a hurry. And now he's picking up your pan and he's heating up the rice. He's boiling it up, he'll cook it once, he'll cook it twice, and then he cooks it again, and then he cooks it once more. And he's spilling other grains of rice on the kitchen floor. And you tell him to stop, you shout that it's done, but he grins and he winks, and now he's really having fun. He takes the pan of rice and puts it back on the hob. He turns up the heat by rotating the knob, and the rice starts to burn to the base of the pan. This is all fun if you're a terrible man. Well, he's just another gnome. He's standing in your home, overcooking your rice. That's his kind of thing. And then he puts on your hat to some impressions of you. They're slightly over the top, but drawn from things that are true. He mimics your voice, a high to nasally tone, harsh but accurate, the way of the gnome. He's just another gnome. He's got a microphone, so his impressions really hit home. And And now you're running through the meadows, running down to the river, and you fall to your knees, and now you're starting to shiver. And you look to your left, and then you look to your right, and then you look at the sky. Oh, what a terrible night. But then you look to the right, and then you look to the left, then you meander back home, check on your uninvited guest. The kitchen is empty, rice litters the floor, there'll be no curries tonight. Of that he made sure. Well, your pans have been ruined, at least he left them to soak. You stare and you sigh, was this all just a joke? But you know that's not his style, that's not why he came. You know in your heart that you were to blame. This was the gnome's revenge for all those things that you did. You murdered his friends and his cat and his pig and his lover and brother and his little pet mouse, and you left him for dead when you burnt down his house, and you stole his photo albums, dropped them all in a pit. There wasn't a crime that you wouldn't commit, and tonight was the night that the gnome made things square. His vengeance was sweet, his vengeance was fair. He's just another gnome. He hasn't got a home, but he don't mind, not when he's cooking rice. Another gnome. He's out there on his own, remembering his impressions with pride. Well, they were harsh but accurate, the way of the gnome. Harsh but accurate. This is the way of the gnome.
Spies nowadays. They have all this modern technology, don't they? Well, I saw one in the park and he was still doing that thing where he'd cut eye holes in his newspaper. I thought he was really behind the times. Hey? The times? As in the...
No, not again, no!
Manuel Manson was an ordinary man until he was bitten by a radioactive man that transformed him into Man-Man, a normal man, but with the powers of a man. He was then bitten again by a different radioactive man, which doubled his powers and his problems, giving Man-Man the powers of a man.
This really can't carry on, I don't understand.
But then, everything changed again.
Nothing changed in the first place. I already was a man. None of this makes sense.
When Man-Man entered the multiverse and was bitten by a radioactive version of himself. And he became Man-Man, but with the powers of Man-Man.
What? Just stop. Just stop with these trailers.
We're gonna need some more manpower!
I know just the man. Wait, what was that? There's a war in this one. And a cowboy. Why do you keep cutting away before I get to have the soup? I'm hungry. I just want to have some soup. Right, so this isn't even about me being Man-Man anymore. No, it's just about me not being allowed to eat soup.
They say that dog is a man's best friend. Well, I say that man is a man's best friend. And you, my friend, are a man.
Soup. God, just let me have the soup!
Man-Man 4. Every Man-Man for himself.
I went on a date with this woman who makes all her clothes by reusing fabric, and she turned up in this old communist banner. I thought, well, that's a red flag. Hey? Hey, Jeremiah. How long should the sausages be in for?
Here's a recipe for sausage and mash.
Thanks. So the cooking time is...
I first discovered this hearty recipe for sausage and mash while on my gap year in Yorkshire.
Just have to scroll to the actual...
I like to mash the potatoes with my fists because this is how it would have been done in the old days.
Quite a long introduction.
Sausages always remind me of my childhood for some reason. I think perhaps because I was raised by sausages.
I just need to know the cooking time.
The joy of sausage and mash. The regret of not eating sausage and mash. The two main ingredients of sausage and mash. Sausage and mash. An inspiring power couple. And that concludes the introduction.
Now let's get into the full backstory behind how I discovered this recipe.
Ah!
How about making some hot dogs instead?
Well, I don't have any buns.
You can bake some from scratch in the air fryer.
Right.
First, combine butter, yeast and cream them together
How long do I do this for?
until it's creamy.
It's already creamy. It's mostly just cream.
Simply cream the cream until creamy.
What's next?
Crumple your dough using your sponge fielder until soft and a little sticky.
Using what?
Your sponge fielder?
I've never even heard of a sponge fielder. Why do these recipes expect us to have such obscure... Oh wait, I do have one.
Now place your dough balls in your multi-cooker and bake. Which cooking mode would you like to use? Steam mode, where I'll reduce your food to a fine mist. Stream mode, where I'll host a Twitch live stream of the cooking process. Slow cook, dim-witted chef. Only grill, which is grill with no fan. Only fans, where I'll only let you see these tasty buns if you've paid to subscribe. Yogurt mode.
How is there a demand for that? I don't know anyone who's ever made a yogurt.
Rice mode, for cooking rice. Nice mode, where the food will just turn out really nice.
Yes, that one.
Countdown commencing. Now pop your sausages in the oven at 180 on fan assist mode. That's only grill, which is grill with no fan. Only fan, which is where you'll only get to see these steamy hot sausages if you've paid to subscribe. Countdown complete. Please insert your food.
I've already inserted my food. I thought you were cooking it. What was the timer for?
That was a countdown to the moment that I'd be ready for you to insert the food. So please, open the lid and insert your food.
The food's already in
Please
there.
open the lid and insert your food.
Right, fine, I'll open the...
Close the lid.
Ah! But you told me to...
Countdown commencing. Don't forget to turn your sausages.
Right, yes.
Countdown pause. Turn your
I
food.
don't need to turn my food, just keep cooking
To
it.
continue, simply open the lid and turn your food.
Fine, but I don't actually...
Close the lid.
Ah! Why do you keep telling me to open it if you...
Counting down.
Right, back to rotating the sausages. Ah,
Make sure they're piping hot.
well, they're in an oven.
Yes, but they do need to be piping hot.
Well, piping isn't a specific temperature, is it?
Countdown complete.
Finally. Right, can I have the food, please?
No.
What? Yes, let me...
Countdown commencing.
What are you doing? You're counting up. To what?
To the moment that I'm going to release your food.
Just release it now.
Oh, I'll release it once the countdown is complete.
But you're counting up. What number are you counting to?
Not sure, but up it goes.
Well, then it could go on...
Don't forget your sausages.
Oh, well, that's probably...
Are they piping hot? Countdown complete.
Right, well, at least... What the... Ah, I must have had it on yogurt mode.
Enjoy your food. Close the lid.
Coming soon from the makers of Manman, a 10-part superhero series about a man who was bitten by a radioactive otter and became a cushioned footstool. Otter Man.
When will this end? Will we ever be free again?
I am unsure. We have been kidnapped by traffickers. We are sure to be sold as child soldiers or as kept as slaves. Our future is bleak and inescapable. There is no way out now.
Perhaps there is.
Uncle Charleston, you have come back.
Of course I have. I see you have been abducted and imprisoned by slave traders.
Yes, Uncle.
Please help us.
Brim, you look a little peaky.
I am leaving this plane. My spirit clings to this weak body like the last seed clings to a blade of grass.
Feeling under the weather, eh?
He is dying, sir. He developed an infection when he got bitten by the wolf. After you encouraged him to approach the wolf.
It is easy to feel glum when our bodies aren't feeling right.
And you left us surrounded by the wolves.
That bloated feeling can really impact how we feel for the rest of the day. Sometimes a yogurt high in gut-friendly bacteria can help.
Please! He needs to see a doctor now!
I shall not rest until you are free.
The key to the cell is on the table.
Yes, I see that. But the key to true freedom is within yourselves.
What do you mean? The key, Uncle?
Yes, the key to inner peace and spiritual freedom is in your own mind.
Please, sir, please hand us the key.
I will hand you the key now. The key to enlightenment. Gather round, and I shall tell you another parable.
Please just pass us the key.
It is the parable of the chocolate-coated ice cream. Once upon a time, there lived a smartly dressed bride and groom. They were so smartly dressed because it was the day of their wedding to each other.
They were in such a jovial mood that on the way to the ceremony, they decided to throw caution to the wind and order themselves an ice cream. They were just about to take a bite when... "Wait," said a voice. And from beside the ice cream van stepped a figure holding a 99 that had been so generously applied to the cone that it obscured his face. "Heed my words, and do not bite into that ice cream just yet." "But why?" they both said, frustrated. "Look around you." And they did look around you. And what did they see? A young blonde math student taking a bite of that same chocolate-coated ice cream, but with catastrophic consequences. The hard chocolate coating shattered, and pieces of it hailed down upon all in proximity like delicious shrapnel. "Now we are in a horrible quandary," they said. "We wish to consume this delicious ice cream, but if we do so, we risk the chocolate coating exploding onto our smart wedding attire. Our relationship surely cannot take the strain. We are finished. Or are you? Take this simple cupcake wrapper, pierce a small hole in the center, and slide it upon my stick." They took a bite, and sure enough, the chocolate cracked and fell from the ice cream, but it did not land upon their clean chests. It was caught instead by the cupcake wrapper. They were so pleased that they married each other right there and then. After the ceremony, they noticed that the mysterious stranger was still there. His 99 had melted now, dripping all over his hand and the ground, so his face was revealed. It was none other than local councillor for Barnsley, Martin Selby, and he was licking melted ice cream from his supple wrists.
What?
What was the point of that story?
To avoid potential clothes staining while eating a chocolate-covered ice cream, try attaching a cupcake case to your stick.
We are being held captive by slave traders. We do not care about ice cream staining our clothes.
Always take pride in your appearance, Handley. And lesson number 2 is this. Vote for local councillor Martin Selby in the upcoming election.
We are children! We are not even old enough to vote, and we do not live in Martin Selby's constituency. We are not even in his country. Why are you telling us about him all the time? We cannot vote for him. We are in a cage. We are just 3 children in a country miles from his. Why are you targeting us with this election campaign? Why? What do you want?
Hey, what's all this shouting? Who are you? How did you get in here? Oh, sir, I am here simply to spread the word about local councillor for Barnsley, Martin Selby. You come in here? I'll kill you. I'll kill you, you dog.
No! Please, no!
I kill everybody, and then myself. You dogs, this is the end for all of us.
What?
Who are you, mysterious stranger who would save our lives?
It is none other than me, local councillor for Barnsley, Martin Selby. And I hope I can count on your vote in the upcoming election. You sure can, sir. You sure can.
Hooray!
Oh, and that's it. That's all the sketches done. That's the end of the series. So all that's left to say is thanks for watching, and have a nice evening. Order yourself a takeaway to celebrate, please. On me, not on me, but you pay for it and eat it, yourself.